What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 7 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Golgfag Maneater Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, we spent the episode bullying Wulfric and in general, I suppose, the Norskins up north, getting some nice debuts for our two new armies, that of the sort of beasts and beast-adjacent things, and the Noblar-centric and giant army as well. Though you guys are really gonna need a little bit more healing. I take it they're just out of range of the camp, which explains why they're taking so long to heal. Just gotta make sure we take Sarlin Campant and then heal there to full or near as much as we can. Grease's Goldtooth is back on the field now and getting ready to make war against the Poxmakers of Nurgle. They have a very nice sort of set of settlements that we want to take for ourselves, as they'll hopefully bring our money situation under control. We couldn't teleport to Clown. No, I still can't teleport to. What the heck? I don't know what the heck is going on here. Maybe we have to move as far away from this thing as possible. Let me just see here. No. Okay, this better not be broken. No, speaking of broken, we did get the patch up. Oh, there it is. We did get the patch up and running. I guess we just had to move away from that territory. We got the patch up and running. That will hopefully save us some... Okay, go here, I guess. Hopefully save us some pain. I believe it should have fixed the splash damage, or at least that's the idea, and anything left over will probably get fixed next patch, so good for the Ogres in particular, but many a faction, I'm sure. Anyway, let's see what we gotta do in this particular turn. There is not much Greasy can move. I mean, what do we have at Scrap Towers? Is there really any necessity for waiting? Deathchanter Zoc will have those Iron Guts ready for Greasy next turn, so we can just take this real quick. Declare war on them right now. It's not like we're going to accept a contract against these guys in the next turn, because we've already accepted one to fight the war host of Jar. Yeah, go for it. Declare war. And, oh, he's not at war with anybody, so he'll send everything at us, which, you know what, that's not such a bad thing. That's what I'd like to see. Alright, Greasy. Activate Feasting Frenzy, activate Bone to Pod as well. While we're fighting and not moving, may as well have all the offerings of the Great Maw, except Ravening Horde, which I don't find particularly useful, up and running. To Scrap Towers we shall go, and you are... Tier 3, so we could take it to Tier 2. Probably worth more to take it at a higher tier than sacking it would be. And this is obviously garbage, so we'll auto-resolve it, take a bit of damage, and occupy it at Tier 2. Nice. Got an Outrider's handgun at the cost of reload time again, and plus 20% armor-piercing missile damage. That's not that horrible. Noblar Treasurer for Greasy, province secured Noblar country. Next, I guess we'll immediately start building the... I guess we have a bunch of growth buildings in this territory, don't we? Also, we should probably... Oh. I'll let us at least temporarily go for Might Makes Right, just for the anti-plague thing. I hope I'm gonna remember to switch out the switch this thing back to Feast for the Strong after. Ooh, on the other hand, campaign movement range. Yeah, but we gotta deal with the plagues. No choice. Right, back to you, Kent. We are gonna go for the big slab here, at least for now, and I guess Knobbly Gorge is the furthest away from the enemy, so we'll upgrade you. Damn, everything's so expensive with the Ogres. It's okay, we'll be raking in the cash sooner rather than later, at least that's the dream. Now, you... Greasy have Beast Eaters, which gives the buffs to the Iron Guts. I'm thinking for Greasus, since he has a sort of generalist trait that buffs, well, pretty much everything, we'll give him a little bit more of a generalist army. Iron Guts is the main line, maybe keep a few of the Noblar Pigback Riders around, depending on if we have room. Give him some Lead Belchers, give him some Iron Blasters, give him some Mournfang Cavalry or Crushers, and I don't know whether we'll have room for big old monsters, but I think that'll be nice. So that's what we'll do. Anyway, the reason I was saying that was because we have to choose what we have to upgrade next. And I'm gonna say we'll probably get the Lead Belchers and the Iron Blasters first. So let's go for Tools of Destruction. Impressive Wolf is solid as well, but it's not like we're using Greasy himself to recruit stuff, at least not while the camps are elsewhere.
The shocking
Yeah, we'll upgrade those guys before we fight. I know that there's a lot of sort of heroes and lords waiting for their skill points. For those of you that that are driven absolutely mad by that, there's a reason we're doing that. A lot of our lords, for the ogres in particular, they have a rank 12 thing, meaning you want to start saving up around rank 6 or 7 so that you can get the most of the sort of unique traits, and especially for hunters, it's a pretty significant buff for all the units that the hunters buff, so you really want to get access to everything here at once as fast as you can. So it's not just because I'm forgetful. Don't get me wrong, I am forgetful. It's just that in this particular case, there's a reason for it. Anyway, unassigned skill points, building upgrade available, damage building. I guess we can repair it. We're looking to keep the Norscan territories. I think considering the number of ports that are available here, we should be able to get some good mileage out of it. Also, somebody in the comments suggested, armor out of iron. We go for the furs, so we'll probably send Brawler Guts Blout down to grab this. Missile resistance 2% for all armies, which ain't too bad if we can get like 5 furs. That's 10% faction-wide. Pretty significant for ogres in particular, who are big old targets and vulnerable to range fire. Alright. Well, let's end the turn. Let's see if Kugath comes our way. Kasteltin wants stuff once again, but the trade agreement is the main thing that we wanted out of him, and that's what we got, so I think we'll ignore this for now. Probably we'll also still want to move down to attack Drika, mostly because she has that pottery that we want. And we just can't let that go. Alright, let's keep an eye on those plagues. Also, while the turn is ending, once again we did manage to reach the engagement threshold, so obviously this will be an hour-ish a long episode. And the engagement threshold remains 350 likes and 50 comments. The next episode will be an hour long as well. Cluster Tribe Destroyed, Ready for Duty, Death Cheater, Drolg, Slaughtermaster of Beasts. And what do we have here? Bad Blood. Disciples of Hashut. A little bit far. And what about you? Bernoth Grundadruk. 4 Disciples of the Mod. That's fine. We gotta head down there eventually. The thing is, I don't know how long it'll be until we do that, so I feel like we'll... Oh, wow, it's 17k, though. I mean, for 17k, I'm willing to maybe keep this one around. Kunlun, we might come back around to, but we're not doing so right now, and over the next, like, 10 turns while we're busy up here, trying to grab the Challenge Stone and the, well, whatever else we can, defeat Zatan, etc., we probably won't do that, meaning we're free to decline this bounty, and I guess this bounty as well. Alright, keep an eye on those. Next up, Golgi. You cannot, unfortunately, reach Gussurk, Hashut's Chosen, however. They've got 2 armies, oh, okay, I'm not sure you can call that an army. I'm wondering whether they would attack us all together at once. Would make for a good fight if they did. If we jump here, we'd be near the settlement, which might make them a little bit braver since they have the units from the settlement to rely upon as well as the 2 armies. So we're gonna do that. Go here, and we'll hit them next turn. I mean, you could also activate your other stuff. Fine, do it. Confirm offering. Everybody is losing 60 meat per turn, but I think we can make more meat than we lose anyway, so not a huge deal. Next, I wanted to test something. Oh, look at that, you're suffering attrition. Oh, due to the desert region. Alright, moves, before I forget, your camp is a big old investment, so we need to make sure that we get you a bunch of units. And we could use the global recruitment as well, just to sort of fill up your camp. Wait, give me a minute on that. Taitsu Camp, I wanted to pack this one up because... Okay, here. Draftmaster, wait. Okay, we're not yet at Impressive, so yeah, Draftmaster. I want to pack this one up and see whether we can actually redeploy it with, for example, Greases, because that would be ideal. We are at 5 out of 3 camps, so I'm not sure that it's possible, but I want to give it a shot. So, pack up camp right now. Camp packed, Vud. Then, Greasy, you cannot reach Kugath, but what you can do is this. Greasy, go right here. And set into ambush stance outside of Scrap Towers. Then... Okay, how far can you travel? You don't even need to go outside of Scrap Towers. I want Kugath to be near enough. Go here. And then you are going to travel to Greasy and transfer to him his Iron Guts. This does mean not recruiting Lead Belchers for the turn, but we can deal with it. And transferring basic units I mean, you can hold on to the saber tusks for now. We'll replace them with Mournfangs. Like so. And then keep the gobos, I guess. Why not? Alright, and then hopefully with this guy in March stance, we can see if we can't get Kugath in this manner. I don't know whether he can reach us because he's in March stance. He might not be able to, but we'll see. Anyway, either way, he might just move towards us and that'll still work in our favor. Brawler Guts Gaunt, you're headed to Sarl Camp, or Sarl Encampment, which is currently at tier 3, meaning we're free to take it at tier 2 and occupy it. And our nobblers are gonna get damaged again, but what are you gonna do? It's a waste of our time. Occupy. Alright, and what did this get us? Okay, we don't need the Bruiser building. We'll replace it with the Money building, and we'll build the Money building at the Bay of Blades while we're at it. Nobbler Treasure and another Bang Stick. We sure love our Bang Sticks around here, don't we? You. Oh, right, I wanted to check the camp thing. And then there was another thing I wanted to do. Well, I guess there are many things I wanted to do. So it looks like we can't recruit the new camp, but we can replace the camps that we already had, which is good. Okay, wait. Mawgate Camp, you now have the Lead Belchers available out of. You don't have the Iron Blaster yet, but this does mean that we're free to pack up our big camp, the big camp. The one that's very difficult to kill, but also has access to everything, because we can get Greases, or we can get our retrofit up and running. So we're gonna pack you up as well, assuming you don't need levels, which right now you don't. Pack up. Good. Then, since we're not using global recruitment this turn, rather, moves, we're gonna have you borrow global recruitment, and just get a few cheap ogre bulls, cheapish ogre bulls, and... we bother with some nobblers in here? I mean, they're going to get deleted. Everything is going to get deleted. It's just temporary, so just get whatever gives us more auto-resolve capability here. Alright, that looks good. Preparing for the next stuff. Brawler Guts Blout. Well, oh. Okay, first of all, the comment about the furs. Yes, so we'll start with furs by moving down to Dietershafen. Take it for ourselves. What does Salzenmann do for us? Just logs. Okay, go here. Grab this. Oh, you can't take it the same turn? Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. I guess you can activate Feasting Frenzy as well. I just don't want to constantly be forgetting these. And the offerings, I mean, and then I want to take a look at your offerings. Okay, you're good. Alright, level 11, but obviously not 12 as yet. Next up, nothing. The other comment was this. Somebody suggested that we give the Nobbler Treasurers, or whatever the heck they're called, how does Nobbler Treasurers, to the Camp Tyrant. I guess all the Camp Tyrants, so that they make a little bit more cash. I don't know whether rating does anything significant. Wait. It causes us attrition, or not attrition, it causes us public order problems. Go figure. You can have impressive wealth. And do we need to recruit basic stuff with you? I mean, we can wait until... I mean, this camp is safe. It should be safe. So, I'm just going to assume that it is. Nobbler Treasurer for you, and let's double check that there isn't anybody else. Okay, recruit rank for Nobblers and Pigback Riders, Campfire Storyteller, Corruption Reduction, Control +1, and Lead Belcher thing. I mean, I guess in theory we should give a Lead Belcher thing to the camp. I mean, it doesn't really matter, because I'm probably not going to bother swapping those around, unless I actually remember. I might. It's a possibility. It exists. The rest is fine. And we packed up the other camps, right? Okay, wait, I guess we can give a Nobbler Treasurer to you as well. Alright, and you have the Brewer, and you have 2 skill points. Lovely. So you have better camping, you got impressive wealth now, and... yeah, let's go for Master of Meat. Alright, nice. Now I think we're good to go to end the turn. Skip unassigned skill points, don't skip... oh, I was about to say don't skip buildings, but yes, skip buildings, we're out of cash. We need to fight. We need bounties and contracts and to take settlements, and ooh, Kugas got a second army around there, and it looks like at the very least these guys decided to go for us. They do have 2 Death Shriek rockets, which is significant, especially as the AI will most likely use the demolition rocket variant, which is very much a threat to ogres. That's a big old pile of units too. Should be a very fun fight. Go.
Kill them! Eat them! Tear them apart!
Alrighty, here we go. 2.5 stacks of Chaos Dwarfs. Though admittedly there aren't a crazy amount of actual Chaos Dwarfs in these 2.5 stacks. First stack is made up of primarily laborers, and there's still a pile of hobgobs, generally speaking. Well, there is a decent number of Chaos Dwarfs as well. But anyway, the big threats here are going to be, other than the lords, the sorcerers, there are going to be the 2 Death Shriek rockets and the Hell Cannon, as well as I believe there's a unit of Kadai, yes, Kadai destroyers in there, Kadai Fireborn rather, which due to their high damage could potentially be highly damaging to our units. Anyway, we're going to try to charge forth at the enemy army as fast as we can. Golgi's going to use his mass to try to get through the massive piles of laborers, goblin, and orc alike to try to get to the enemy lord. He has brought in tow with him the Eshin Man-eater. Since the Eshin Man-eater has Vanguard deployment, unlike Bragg the Gutsman, these two can work together a little bit more, which makes me want to say maybe we should keep the Eshin Man-eater with Golgi. Ooh, that shot missing Golgi's head just by a hair. But anyway, keep maybe the Eshin Man-eater with Golgi just because they can both Vanguard deploy. I gotta double check whether Bragg gets a Vanguard deployment sort of trait though. Anyway, with these two working on the enemy Sorcerer Prophet, he's down to about half of his H worked, a quarter. He's routing and he's dying, while the rest of our army has moved on. And since the only other Vanguard deployed unit was our man-eaters, they have taken a bit of damage and are going to back off now that the rest of the army is here, and we will wait to simply heal them up. They did have that harmonic convergence upgraded on them, giving them the much needed armor and melee defense to hopefully get out of there. Alright, but the enemy army is here and the battle is only just begun. This is, after all, the warm-up, the appetizer of the weak and cheap laborers here. But we have managed to knock out the enemy lord and a decent pile of them anyway. Anyway. Alright, just gonna back off, and ooh, that's a big old pile of enemies coming in now. Alright, you guys are having a little bit of trouble killing off that Sorcerer Prophet, are you? Well, you're getting charged by Chaos Dwarfs and Hobgobs now, so you're just gonna have to deal with them. Besides, we do have another way to deal with runners, and don't we? As we've seen before, a nice shot to the back from Golgi's Deadeye pistol. Deadeye pistol. There we go, and right in the back. Oh, and he took his head, didn't he? Damn, a very nice shot. A Golgi. I wonder what the caliber of the Ogre pistols is. It's gotta be pretty big. But anyway, the rest of the enemy army is here, and the battle is just beginning as more reinforcements will arrive on the field as soon as more enemies are off said field. That said, the enemy's pile of laborers blocking Chaos Dwarfs and Hobgobs, their strongest units, might actually be working in our favor a little bit. The sorcerers are chucking fireballs around. The first one knocks down a few of our long-drawn Slayer pirates and smashes into the powder guts. However, the powder guts are more or less fine and can continue firing. Just getting a little bit of that range support coming in, but nothing crazy at the current time. Kadai Fireborn are going to be the targets for our lead belchers here. We might take a few stray cannonballs to the back of the head on some of our ogre bulls with iron fists, but worth it to destroy those Kadai Fireborn. Mounts of power shifts to about 70% in our favor. Bragg and the Man-Eater have found the second enemy lord, the Overseer, who's down at half HP, while Golgi charges on through the rest of the enemy army to get to that Death Shriek rocket and that Hell Cannon. Once again, gotta stop these frickin' things from firing. Though I do feel like these things would work really nicely with our roster as well. Once again, shame we can't do outposts, but oh well. Man, big old battle, fantastic looking as well in this underway we've got going on. A little bit hard to see, but feels appropriate for the underway battle, so not so bad. Another Hell Cannon hit smashes into those powder guts, but they still managing to hold on. Firing at the enemy artillery now. Death Shrieker is routing, and the other Death Shrieker has nearly been destroyed by Golgi. In fact, one more hit, and it'll go. Alright, beautiful. Chase the other one down and make sure the Hell Cannon is destroyed, but by the looks of it, our Ogres have taken care of most of the massive piles of enemy infantry. This is a really big battle in terms of sort of, well, enemy unit count, but also in terms of sort of how long. The battle started here. We can see all the corpses where we originally charged the enemy ranks, and then just kept on fighting all the way to here. Very nicely spread out considering the sheer number of troops. And the fact that it's a smaller map. But hey, lots of units and stuff. Anyway, with that, the battle is ours. The last unit on the field, the enemy Hell Cannon destroyed by Golgi, who is pretty solid at destroying single entity artillery pieces, especially with those Ogre pistols helping him out. This is probably one of the very last battles with Golgi in his current form, as in his army will be getting that retrofit to its max level pretty much as soon as we get that camp up and running near Golgi. That'll be a first priority, because we can't keep him running around with basic Ogre bulls forever. Nearly there, guys, nearly there. More Ogre pistols and more Golgi's Man-Eaters definitely on the way. Alrighty, bit of meat, decent bit of cash as well. The enemy army is, well, if nothing else, severely damaged. We weren't able to catch quite as many of them as we might normally have if it had been one of those, you know, regular field battles instead of a sort of underway battle, but that's just the nature of traveling with that great moss stance, tunneling stance, whatever. Anyway, ransom captives, replenishment. We're probably gonna have to auto-resolve the next turn, so we'll do the replenishment for now. And hello, we got the Snow Horn of Morn unlocked. I feel like that should go in an army with a lot of Yetis, shouldn't it? Although we already do have a Regiment of Renown in our current Yeti army. But the ice units working together also feels appropriate. Ambush foiled greasy. Ah, man, that didn't quite work out like I wanted it to. However, this army is in march stance. Now, can you two beat this? I don't know, but I'd like to find out. Ambush foiled, convoy arrived, a Yeti Wrangler. Ooh, campaign movement range. You don't have one of these either. It's all the way up here? Why is it all the way up here? I thought this was an okay, I guess it's on alphabetical order, whatever. Enchanted item. Anything good enchanted item-wise that we could use here? Wait, I'm looking at the wrong items. Alright, so what do we have here again? A lucky arrow, range plus 5%. Yeah, getting lots of range-specific stuff. Potion of Farsight not going to be super useful to Greasy in particular. Most of this stuff isn't going to be super useful either. We'll probably transform a few of these things into other items shortly, but right now not necessary. Enemy killed in battle. There's that Snowhorn of Morn. Faction destroyed Jiangxi rebels. Faction destroyed Overlords of Jarduk. I guess the Greenskins are doing reasonably well. They don't like our treaties with the Western Provinces and Imperial Wardens. Well, we kind of destroyed a lot of the Western Provinces, and the Greenskins can't trade, that's the thing. And the Ogres are very much a trade-focused faction, so all of these, like, Chaos factions and other ones that can't trade aren't as useful to us as the human factions are. Ooh, hello. Significant power-up for Gorgers via that Gore Feast ability and the regen and melee. Eliminate Tretch Craven Tail. We might do that. What about this? Veil of Woe Razor Sack. That is the Servants of the Conclave. We need a retrofit on Golgi's army before we take that on. So I think this one for now we can let go. That is Veil of Woe. Nemesis Crown, yeah. And Squash 'em. Oh, that one got aborted. Okay. Mountain Eaters. Out. We'll keep the Tretch Craven Tail one. This can presumably be destroyed without too much trouble. And we still do want Challenge Stone. How many territories do you have? 4. I would like to see Kolek face off against Golgi as well. Would be nice to see, I think. Do we take Blizzardpeak for ourselves? I mean, there's a very solid likelihood that we'll eventually start fighting the greenskins here, as we want the Mountains of Morn to ourselves, and once again they can't trade, so they won't make a useful ally. Plus it's a faction that we haven't really fought that much. Yeah, auto-resolve this. Ow, on the poor saber tusks, but what can you do? I guess for now we could give this to client, and then just take it back as needed later. We still need to complete the contract, that's the thing. And occupying it won't give us as much. Yeah, fine, give it to client, whatever. Whatever. What does salt do for us? I should not have gifted that to client. Damn me. Okay, well, that's another reason to attack the greenskins, I guess. I really was not expecting the salt to be upkeep production for all armies. Yeah, okay, that's the most critical... Okay, wait, we need the most critical trade good. Now we need to take a look at where else salt can be found. I know that there is salt here in Barak Var, so we could take that later. Let's see any salt in Norska. There's salt in Gorsel, but it's a little far from us. And we're at minus 5.2k per turn, which is another reason. Well, not another reason, the main reason. And not a lot of salt in our proximity. You know what? Do you guys want Pomei? We don't really need it for anything, and the marble only gives us construction cost, right? Yeah. It also gives us some money. How much are you willing to give us for this? 3.4k, but... And trade... they'd be willing to do trade agreement eventually anyway. Watch me get killed by the rats and stuff, though. They're not doing super well. Let's take a look at... Oh, nobody wants to trade with us, though. It is... You know what? Probably lose it immediately. How much are you willing to give us for Pomei? 2.3k. Probably get more mileage out of these guys. Yeah, fine, just give it to you. Pomei. Limited amount of money, but whatever. Not going to have you join war against anybody. I'm not going to bother with the other agreements. Just don't want to deal with that thing up there. There we go. Alright. Not as much trade as I'd like, but it's growing as we continue to get trade goods. Should we kill you off since we're headed to the Challenge Stone anyway, and we're gonna declare war on these guys? They're currently at war with the Challengers of Khorne and nobody else, eh? On the other hand, I guess we have to deal with these guys first. Fine. March stance all the way to the edge of the territory. We'll deal with the Challenge Stone as we come back, but we still want to complete the, contract. And I guess we could declare war on the Greenskins as we come back. Just gotta watch out for them jumping in up here before we do. Anyway, Goldtooth. I want to see those Iron Guts in action. Let's level up your heroes. Let's get into it. Where are you going for that unbreakable buff? You can have... I'm gonna say Vissen's Wild Form because it's a good spammable spell. And I guess Flock of Doom because we have mana to cast it, and we do need to be able to damage those physically resistant demonic units. Missile Strength for you. You're gonna be going after Kugath a little bit, who's going to be the toughest part of this. And I guess that's it, that's all. So, Death Cheater Zoc, we're gonna move you right here. I hope I'm gonna... No, I'm not wrong to do this. But we want Pig Barter, so... Alright. Man, those Pigback Riders are gonna have a big problem with Kugath casting the Stream of Corruption on them again and again and again. But let's see what we can do. Alright, Greasy, let's see, we got Valiant Defeat. That's a lot of demonic units, and, well, we'll see. We'll see how valiant this defeat is. Go.
Doesn't matter who they are, what tricks they've got. They're only mates.
Well, technically, the demons aren't meat because they don't really exist in the material. But anyway, I prepare to be disappointed, Greases, but I hope that we are not disappointed with the coming fight. Unlike the Chaos Dwarfs, this is 2.5 stacks of pretty solid units, a massive pile of Plague Bearers all over the place. I think in addition to Kugath himself, they have 3 or 4 Beasts of Nurgle and the Bilious Thunderguff as well, so huge HP pools. And ooh, nice hits from Greasy as he trundles on in and starts sending those plague toads flying as well. But anyway, I imagine this is going to be a very tough fight. We are primarily basic troops other than our newly acquired Iron Guts, and as to whether we can outlast the enemy's massive healing and Kugath's crazy damage remains to be seen. He also has plenty of other heroes and lords to do stuff with, so yeah. Anyway, Greasy has trundled on forth with the Vanguard deployment and the speed he has upgraded. He's fairly quick, not so much on his feet, but on his wheelbarrow, and is able to enter battle quite quickly, followed quickly by the Iron Guts as well. Lovely to see these guys in action as well. The heavily-ish armored ogres charging on through, looking fantastic as they do charge through the forest like this. Gonna be a really interesting fight. And there we go, hopefully with the patch everybody's splash damage is fixed, as we're certainly going to need it against the sheer numbers of Plague Bearers and Nurglings we'll be facing off against. Thousands upon thousands of troops. And of course we've got Exalted Plague Bearers on the field as well, which with their range damage could do insane amounts of hurt to our poor units. Now, I had a bit of a gamble moment. I decided that we should have Greasus attack the first enemy army while the second one comes in as a reinforcement without waiting for our own. Unfortunately, by the looks of it, this does not pan out nearly as I'd like, and Kugath gets on the field rather quickly, or at least far quicker than we were able to destroy the first army. And this ain't so great. So they're going to have all of their troops fighting together, and we're going to have to wait a while our Ogre units come on in to help. Now we do have our Saber Tusks who have looped around and are trying to keep the enemy Plague Toads at bay. Fortunately, vanilla Plague Toads remain kind of meh. But just the sheer amount of units is still very concerning. The enemy even has a unit of Death's Heads up above who are firing down, and their range damage, just like the Exalted Plague Bearers, could be particularly devastating if we're not careful. It looks like... I'm not sure who they're targeting here, but it looks like it's these Iron Guts who, yeah, they've already lost a third of their HP and liable to lose more. Greasy heads back into the fight towards the Bilious Thunderguff, which is a very solid giant unit. And Greasy does have the bonus anti-large trait on him, or anti-large activatable ability, somewhere in here. Scepter of Titans. Bonus versus large plus 24 and armor piercing additional damage. But it's still going to be very tough fighting this guy without the advent of regeneration, which the enemy has in droves. Effects all over the place in this particular battle. We are spamming Flock of Doom, the enemy spamming various spells from its various casters, so not much we can do about that. And by the looks of it, our first army is definitely starting to take damage. 3 units of Saber Tusks surrounded a unit of Exalted Plague Bearers, but were unable to destroy them. And our Iron Guts are holding, but are starting to lose HP as well. Greasy similarly has lost about 60% of his HP fighting the Bilious Thunderguff, which perhaps was a bit of a mistake on our part, at least while we didn't have the other reinforcements. I love watching those piles of Nurglings get sent flying by the Ogres. I feel like Nurglings should be particularly irritating to Ogres, because they're just so tiny. I mean, they're just irritating and sort of biting at the ankles of regular humans in battles, but for Ogres, they're just yeah. It's like I guess for humans, it's like a pile of bugs, you know, just like a living carpet of like scarabs or something. Thinking about the thinking back to the Mummy, that sort of thing. But it's Nurglings. But anyway. Reinforcements have, by and large, finally arrived, and not a moment too soon as several of at least ever units of pigback riders are booking it on out of there, and even one of the units of Iron Guts is starting to rout. They did take a lot of damage, but we have nearly a full stack of basic Ogre units in tow, and hopefully that'll be sufficient. Of course, all the while, Kugath is firing away his special range projectiles at us and dishing out damage. And I know the effects are a little bit much. Somebody did suggest we use the less effects mod if it's back up and running. I'm not sure if it is yet. I haven't checked it out, but I'll take a look. Once again, I prefer watching the action to getting these like constant effects of like Flock of Doom and whatever else is up and running, because it just covers the battlefield so much. I really feel like CA need to add a sort of toggle where these kind of effects just don't exist in the game. As in, or aren't displayed, you know what I mean. That's because we're trying to see the fight. Anyway, big old pile of Ogres versus, and Pigback Rider Nobblers versus big old pile of Plague Bearers and Nurglings. Who's gonna come out on top? Still remains to be seen. The bounce bar remains in the enemy's favor 6 minutes in, and it's pretty much been a 6-minute full brawl non-stop. Both sides are constantly losing units. And I feel like a lot of our damage is coming in from those Flock of Doom spams. Flock of Doom, since the enemy has a tendency to blob up with all of those Nurglings and Plague Bearers. A little bit of a darker map than I'd like, perhaps, but, you know, sometimes we get light maps, sometimes we get dark maps. At least it's even. Greasy definitely starting to take damage now. He's taken a fair few of those Spirit Leeches as well, but it looks like the AI has switched to the Hunter for some reason, and in fact now Kugath has started to fire at the Hunter as well. That's actually probably not a bad thing. If he's firing at the Hunter, he's not firing into our main... Okay, he just did. Blob of units. Tactically, there isn't too much to say about this particular battle, since we didn't have the mass needed from separating our two armies. And we can't really loop around the enemy nearly as much as we'd like. Plus, the edge of the map is like right over here, so this side has reached nearly the edge of the map, even if it was unintentional. And the bounce bar remains in the enemy's favor. A lot of our damage units have rallied, and we are going to send them around, and we are also pulling out any Iron Guts that take sufficient amounts of damage, being on the front line for 7 minutes straight in order to make sure that they don't take too much damage, as we do want to preserve them. Unlike the Iron Guts, the second army was slated to be deleted as soon as we need it, since it's just full of basic units, and because of supply lines in vanilla, we can't have too many sort of basic armies running around that aren't serving a purpose. And so we're not really cognizant, or we don't really care about the losses from the second army if they happen, just from the first. And there we go, once again, those effects all over the place. I especially don't like the sort of rune, the targeting rune, the ring where it shows the effect. That takes me out of the immersion, especially considering it's the same for every faction, so it's clearly like a UI thing rather than like a magical effect on the ground. I wonder if the dev tools have a way to remove those. I don't remember if I've seen those being active during sort of like in-engine battles and stuff during their trailers or their devlogs and whatnot. It's possible, but at the same time it's possible they just don't use spells during those. I have to try to remember. Anyway, the brawl continues. The Plague Bearers, certainly the worse for wear, but they're still definitely fighting. I think most of the Nurglings at this point, at the very least, are by and large gone. Bilious Thunderguff's still fighting, 68 kills to its name and 13k damage as well. The left flank of the enemy, by and large, however, is beginning to collapse. We've finally been able to mob those exalted Plague Bearers with the relatively damaged units. But I guess our entire army is relatively, if not very heavily damaged. Greasy is down to the dregs of his HP. Our Butcher is nearly dead. Our Iron Fists, our Iron Guts. I believe our Hunter is starting to take damage as well. Our newly arrived Tyrant is fine, but how long that remains to be seen. Kugath, very much still in the fight, having racked up 17, nearly 18k damage and 122 kills. At this point, we don't want him firing, so we're just sending these Saber Tusks in to distract him, so that he doesn't fire into our biggest blob of units, while our hurt Iron Guts have looped around the enemy and are now charging into the back of their line. Definitely need those extra morale shocks. I do think that Greasus's ability that causes the enemy to go into rampage has been quite nice here. Especially useful against units like cavalry or units like the like enemy sorcerers. Once they get close enough, force them into rampage and then kill them as needed. Giant's still whacking away. Really need this thing to go down, but damn does it have a lot of HP. Honestly, if this was Festus rather than Kugath, I feel like the enemy definitely would have had a much easier time here because of the even more insane heals he has. We're probably going to need to switch from a Butcher of Beasts to a Butcher of the Maw for Greasus, as he's going to need those heals. Not that the Butcher of Beasts isn't useful here, just pop it into a different army. Alright, it looks like most of the enemy infantry are down, well, I was about to say down to the dregs, but so are all of our units. Balance of power is still in the enemy's favor, but only by about 5% now. Last of the Saber Tusks still distracting Kugath, though frankly he barely has any ammunition remaining, as is. He's also continuously spamming those Nurgling summons. And 11 minutes straight up brawl. This is the kind of length of brawl you usually get in SFO. It's a very long battle. And I'm here for it. This is definitely Goldtooth's make or break moment. If he fails here, Golgi should have the right to just eat him. And not in a good way. Alright, look at those HP values. Gonna have to be very carefully watching our heroes in there, as a single hit from the enemy Lord, whether it be the Thunderguff or the Sorcerer Lord, or whether it be Kugath, will probably kill off any one of our heroes at this point. Greasus might take 2 blows, but everybody's badly damaged. And finally, the balance of power shifts very, very slightly in our favor. 5% in our favor now, but the fight continues. More pigback riders and some Iron Guts heading towards Kugath, but he'll hold them off just fine. We're just distracting him, keeping him from joining the rest of the fight. Really need to mob the remaining Bilious Thunder, or the remaining Beasts of Nurgle. One about to be killed by the by Greasy here. And the Thunderguff as well. Alright, Greasy gets the final blow with that Scepter of the Titans. Titan Scepter, whatever it is. And heads towards the other Beasts of Nurgle. All of the Beasts of Nurgle had reached their healing cap because they'd been healing for the entire battle. Looks like the Thunderguff did as well, and damn those heals. We need some kind of anti-healing ability. Huh, do the Ogres have anything anti-heal available to them? I'm trying to remember here. I think in SFO, poison gives anti-heal, but I don't think it does in this. We need the Hag lore from the Kislevites for some anti-heal. I'm gonna take a double check. Another look at the Ogre roster to check for some of those anti-heal things. Anyway, our Tyrant from the Reinforcing Army facing off against the Bilious Thunderguff with those Iron Guts and Toads. Got 3,000 HP remaining, and still Ogre and Nobbler are like and drop before it. Heck of a giant. Too bad we didn't have any Stonehorns or Giants in this army yet in order to face off against those. Though admittedly, once Greasy gets powerful enough, he should be able to handle the big boys. Kugath has dealt with all of the distracting forces and is now moved towards us, but the Bilious Thunderguff is nearly done for, down to about 1,000 of its HP. We're bringing back every single unit that routed even the Iron Guts with 7 models and like 10% of their HP remaining. Got to bring this thing down, and at last the great weapons of the Iron Guts hew down the legs of the Bilious Thunderguff and drop it. And unlike the demonic units that Kugath has brought in droves, the Bilious Thunderguff can actually be eaten. Beast of Nurgle, damn, enemy pops in an aspect of the Dread Knight for that bonus leadership to keep this thing on field and not disintegrating. And the enemy Sorcerer Lord is in the midst of all this. Greasy has 1,200 HP remaining now. And frankly, every single one of our units. This is all that's left of 2 armies and everybody with basically no HP left. And the balance of power does climb in our favor now. 3 enemies units left on the field. Another rampage, causing that Beast of Nurgle and Kugath to move closer to us. Gotta mob them and kill them before before they kill us. And I imagine we're still taking sort of spell damage and whatnot from Kugath. Does Kugath have a Mortis Engine effect on him? I don't know. I don't remember. I also constantly get confused as to what abilities and what things are from SFO and what things are from vanilla. It breaks my brain on occasion. Alright. Kugath now surrounded by those piles of ogres vomiting all over them. But ogres are hardly squeamish, and they certainly have seen plenty of vomit in their day. The last Beast of Nurgle goes down. The last Chaos Sorcerer, or I guess the only Chaos Sorcerer, is about to fall as well. 462 HP remaining. The bounce power about 75% in our favor now. And in a few seconds, only Kugath will remain. That said, Kugath is still at 95% of his HP. So the question will be, can this massive pile of units deal with him, mostly without our lords and heroes attacking him? Only the Tyrant has enough HP to actually contribute to this, as one hit from Kugath might kill anybody else. And is that Sorcerer still alive? 68 HP, come on, one more hit from somebody, anybody, bring him down. We need the extra leadership shock to Kugath. We gotta get him melting. We melted for him, damn it. Anyway, the Chaos Sorcerer Lord goes down. Kugath is exhausted. He is unbreakable due to that potion of foolhardiness, but the balance of power is about 80% in our favor now. Perhaps once the potion ends, Kugath will begin his banishment. Clapping a few Nurglings together and hitting us, and there we go. By the looks of it, at last, he is banished, and that massive HP pool he has starts to drop. All of this for a terrible, terrible defeat, right? But it is appropriate to see Greasus deal with Kugath, and there we go. Greasus is back in the fight, trying to get a couple of those hits in. It'll take 2 hits from Kugath to deliver the final blow. And Greasus does hit very, very hard, so making his way forward. And there we go, at last. Kugath is done. And okay, the game doesn't let us see his final banishment, but we just managed to pull that off with a tiny amount of the ogres we had from the start. Granted, a decent amount will have escaped our field, and I don't know how many units will remain alive, but we did manage to withdraw and preserve all of our Iron Guts, and, well, admittedly they were in the front line for most of the battle, so yeah. Lovely, lovely fight. I really enjoyed that. Oh, by the great Ma, what a fantastic fight that was. We came very, very close to losing at the end there. Kugath is a freaking monster. 33k damage on him, and he just would not go down. Expended all his ammunition. We used all of our saber tusks to try to distract him from firing off even more, and then he kept going in melee for ages. One of the reasons that Kugath is one of the, if not the best melee lords in the game is just because he's so difficult to outlast, even if he is a hybrid caster range lord. He just has such a big HP pool and has the ability to heal himself. So yeah, good for him, very much good for him. We have no choice but to heal up here, as otherwise I think attrition will kill us, and I'm not sure that we can actually reach Pig Barter itself. Damage wise, we got one of the units of Iron Guts getting 22k, very solid, and all the units of Iron Guts, by the looks of it, did very reasonably well. And a few of the Ogre Bulls units that brought up the rear as the reinforcing army did pretty solid as well. 10k on at least one of the units of, a couple of units of the Pigback Riders. Good job to them. But I think the star of the show for this particular battle was this guy, the Butcher of Beasts, who is not supposed to be in this army, but who really, really helped out. I don't know whether without Flock of Doom spam on all those physically resistant Plague Bearers and Nurglings, we would have been able to pull it off. So great job to that Butcher. Eat captives. Alright, attrition, casualties suffered from all attrition, yes. Now, can we reach Pig Barter? We can. This army, by the looks of it, won't be able to, but we can swap some units out. And frankly, this army was supposed to be deleted anyway, but, well, for now. Anyway, Standard Discipline, enemy killed in battle, enemy killed in battle, Campfire Storyteller, of course, Kugath is still alive. And he gets a third of his HP back due to Demons Reforged, I guess. Well, that's just rude. Growth plus 30. Oh, wow. His defeat rate is also absolute garbage. Big names, just the one. You are going to besiege. And this will kill off a couple of units here. I'm not sure that this is worth our time, especially considering we were going to delete the second army. We care about the loss of 2 Saber Tusks, considering we were going to... I mean, we could fight it manually. Don't feel like we need to invest the time. Is there anything else we could do this turn? I'm just wondering whether I could just do this between the episodes or not. We will need to level, though. That hasn't changed. So you have your stuff maxed out. We want to get your rally into... Well, you don't have anything high level yet, so you can't do too much with that. Impressive wealth is not going to be super useful to us, but... Well, Bellower eventually will, but I guess we want fight or die either way. So let's get ritually rewarded to get those Iron Guts a little bit more powerful once they're leveled. Bruiser, you are... Oh, you're holding on to your max. You're rank 12, the Hunter and the Butcher. Well, the Hunter is. The Butcher is going to get replenished troops and max out that Flock. Ooh, no, we need Wild Heart because it gives us a little bit of recharge. Prioritize it. And then Hunter, you're gonna increase mobility, but then all the other points are gonna be saved. Even though, once again, this army is probably not going to need a Hunter. On the other hand, use it for Guardian and as a Stonehorn to sort of help Greasy out. Death Cheater, Zoc, you were always supposed to be reset with regards to your skills. Get your leadership bonuses. And after those points have been applied, did that do anything for the auto-resolve? Not really. About the same. It doesn't change the fact that we need to replace this army in order to get another army up and running. I wonder how much damage... How much time would this really take? I mean, he could just use Fecundity on Kugath and waste like 10 minutes. Whatever, just auto-resolve, whatever. Waste of time. And then you can occupy it. Hopefully you didn't suffer, get an attrition plague from that, because that would be... Ooh, Sword of Bloodshed. Very much worth it, though. Alright. Sword of Bloodshed, enemy killed. Campfire Storyteller, victory over Nurgle. Big names unlocked for Greasy. Gotta pay attention to those. Win a siege battle. And, okay, that one's gonna take a while. The end 5,000 per turn. End your turn with over 1,000 meat. Yes. That will be acquired, and then win a battle against an army with a dragon. Still have to manage a way to do that. You are going to transfer stuff, especially since we're going to delete you. I guess for now... Okay.
The Ogres
55. Okay, let's get you to 40. Let's get you to 40. And something like that. Wait, I'm gonna heal up the troops. We can transfer again. Saber tusks. Okay, wait. Transfer. We're gonna have to do 2 transfers. Transfer over the saber tusks, these guys, and all of these guys. Because fine. -1 because they'll need to be combined into other units. 5 and 5. Wait. Yeah, I think that's good. All right, and then stop moving. Oh, you're not moving. All right, good. Then we will combine you two. Since we were looking to delete this army anyway, we'll combine you into 1 unit. We will combine you and you into 1 unit. Don't need more than 4 of these guys right now. Then you can swap in you. And then I guess these guys. You can combine them too. To some degree. Yeah, fine. Do that. And then combine. Oh, actually fairly high level. Might actually be worth it to take the other one. Rather than the Nobblers? Well, actually, you know what? This is reasonably balanced. 5 and 5 is the main line, and 4 together with the Saber Tusk. I think we'll get rid of the rest, minus the U2. Combined. And then you. Transfer. Alright. That looks good. This way we can reduce the significant cost of all of this. Then we can delete you. Then we can double check your items, which you have none, and we're going to need to reset you. You're going to be useful to us later, but for now you're too expensive. Reset skill points. Beautiful. Alright. Much better, Greasy. Much better indeed. And there's a plague at Ruin's End, meaning we could in theory just ignore it for now. Ooh, we should also immediately start upgrading Pig Barter because we want that upgrade from it. Ignore Ruin's End, head down to Shattered Stone Base, see what we can do about Kugath, though by the looks of it, that's severely damaged his faction already. The other thing that we need to do is generate some iron guts. We can do it out of the, or lead belchers rather. We can do it out of this particular settlement. And I guess that'll be faster than global recruiting. So let's get a temporary lord. I guess I shouldn't have deleted the lord. We should use a high rank lord that has the recruiter ability, or the any easy way to see whether your traits are, they're already assigned. Well, darn. I was hoping somebody who didn't have traits already assigned. So basically we just have you. I guess we'll use you to recruit Death Cheater Drog. We got these Death Cheaters all over the place. Is Death Cheater even a useful trait? Because they just... I guess it's useful for the AI, and that's about it, right? Because everybody becomes immortal at rank 20, which means wounded instead of killed does nothing for us. I guess the 90% damage resistance is nice, but for 12 seconds, it's not horrible on a Slaughtermaster who's going to be a little bit more fragile than a Tyrant is. Anyway, you, my friend, are now going to recruit out of Mawgate Camp. Say 3 lead belchers. Oh, wait. Wait. 3 lead belchers. With an artificer. There we go. At a higher rank. 3 lead belchers. And I was gonna get you some iron blasters, but we don't have the access to them in this particular camp. We could get Nobbler's scrap launchers. Well, I guess we'll start on the iron blasters next turn once we have access to this. Do we have Mournfangs here? We have the basic Mournfangs, which we could put into Greasy's army temporarily until we get the higher level Mournfangs or Crushers. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work nicely. 1 second. Not stimulate growth. Who has the replenishment? You have the replenishment. Let's get that. Alright, just to heal up a little bit more. Technology. Now, we had the live bait. I think we're going to head towards nomadic beast pens. Yeah, it's going to take 9 turns, but upkeep reductions, I think, are the name of the game now in this campaign, because we want more armies. And speaking of more armies, down below, I'm going to put down a poll vote thing, whatever, for the next army that we'll have up and running, because we are getting to the point where we can get another one shortly. So after... Take those. After the Beast Army, we have the option of the All-Ranged Army, we have the option of the All-Cavalry Army, possibly another Generalist Army, there's probably a few others. I'll put them in the poll list, and then we'll do that one next, because who knows when we'll get the army after that army. And it'll be the one that people want to see more that we should get up and running. Anyway, yeah, you can collect income for now. Who else needs to move? Golgi, Brawler, Gaunt. Now, you can reach the Forbidden Citadel. Most likely these guys are going to loop around to Nalfari Plain. I'd like to link up with the... Oh! These guys would probably be willing to pay us a lot of money for the Forbidden Citadel. Oh, wait, it's iron, which means armor for all armies. Yeah, we can't let them have that. What does Obsidian do for us? It gives us spell resistance faction-wide hero capacity for iron bellies. I like the hero capacity and the spell resistance. It's not bad. It's not anything crazy, admittedly. Can you attack from this side? I hope you can. Okay, I hope I didn't screw us over. I want to see if we can still do this while in the Circle of Influence. It's not quite clear whether we are. Also, what do we have in terms of defenders? Basically nothing, so auto-resolve and Razor Standard. Very nice find. And in fact, wait, yeah, occupy this, which we're gonna keep because of the iron. And you can start building that up immediately. Oh, you know what? This place is going to grow really slowly, so I think we're going to start with the growth building instead of big slab. I think maybe we'll put the Razor Standard on these guys. You earned it, buddy, and ooh, that also got you up to rank 12, so now you have Cash Cascade, the charge bonus and melee attack and leadership buff. The leadership in particular going to be helpful to the Nobblers when we don't have Nobbler kickers around. Upkeep reduction from the Paymaster is always nice to have. Physical resistance, stock, melee attack, defense, and weapon strength plus 5/5/10 for all rank 7 units, so just gotta keep those Nobblers from dying, and eventually they'll become significantly stronger. Lovely. Alright, and it looks like this one's already up there. 47-46. They just need a little bit of armor, which I guess the only way to do is iron mining. If only we could get the frickin' support drum from the Cathans, but it's just not possible. Anyway, I guess we're going to have to want to... save it for the rank 12. Incendiary, cooldown for spells, eruption, fire breath. Yeah... Alright, hold on to your points then. What about you? Oh, you're doing the same. Trying to get to that puncture, etc. And we might get word save for accompanying Lord on you, it's just that the Paymaster isn't in melee as much as the other heroes are, so kind of not as important. Anyway, that's it for that. Next up, Golgi. First of all, you have all of this. You are still working on that contract, but with 10 turns remaining, we should probably be fine. We should potentially level you. Hard to hit Scarred Veteran into snacks. Hopefully Tamarkan is still alive, because if he is, I'd really like to... I see Nurgle Corruption. I'd really like to get that bonus mass for Golgi. Alright, and we'll go back for the Challenge Stone landmark afterwards. You, sir. We do like Chain... We spam Curse the Midnight Wind constantly. Wind Blast is quite useful. Roiling Skies isn't particularly useful generally. However, against the Chaos Dwarfs might actually be decent. Let's get another point in Wind Blast. Alright. Next up, Bruiser. What you missing? Snacks. We're all missing snacks, aren't we? There we go. A little bit of healing. Always needed. And Brag the Gutsman. I'm gonna get your foreboding executioner upgraded, causing you, giving you a disemboweled effect. Draining hit points. Very nice. I like the sound of that a lot. And again, he'll go in his own army eventually, just we're not ready for it. And no enchanted item yet. Do we have... Oh, right, the Skull Mantle. I'll take a look at who gets the Skull Mantles. I don't know whether we need to keep the bang sticks, but what do you use? No, I'll give you a bang stick. I want to try it out and see whether it's worth keeping or whether we'll turn it into something else. And I'm kind of feeling the same about the skull mantles, but I guess we can use them for now. Oh, you two already have skull mantles. Bloody. Okay. Who doesn't have skull mantles? What do you have? You have the Forbidden Rod. I'll give you a bang stick. Alright. And Greasy, your guy can get a Skull Mantle for now. We have 5 Skull Mantles and not a single Great Skull or a Skull Plucker. Not that the the set effect is awful. Control +5 and causes terror. Ooh. Ugh. Who cares? Anyway, building. You're up next. Ooh, Ivory Road. Certainly making decent amounts of cash, and with the Goldtooth's Tollgate, it's going to be even more. Are we keeping Bullpen for a reason here? This is going to be our biggest money-making province, so you know what? Delete this for now. We'll go for the money-making building earlier. And Grimtop, you're fine. Let's upgrade Krakatan, and as soon as this is up, we can delete the growth buildings here. Nobler Country. Let's do Flayed Rock next, I think. And I guess the growth, at least until we're all 333, and then we'll delete it. Same thing here, Valley of Horns, Amblepeak, whatever. You're in control and growth, feast for the strong. I should double check that we have that. I mean, we don't have any plague here, but it could be transferred from this place and then it'll cause us a headache, so we'll ignore it for now. Nalfari Plain, we are keeping you for now. I think you're just, wait. You go here. I was hoping that by leaving the camp you'd actually be in range of the camp, but alas, not the case. Oh well, not a big deal. Mountains, Ostland, Norden, ignored. Help it, we will upgrade you, but right now I think we'll save on the cash. Oh, actually, wait, what does this do for tier 3? Me generated, +1 hunters. Always good. And we do even have a new hunter available to us. Wait a moment. Oh, we have the big camp gone, which is where we were raising other stuff, so I don't know what about other capacities we may have. Frankly, all of these are kind of mad. I'd rather have Flabby or one of the armor traits. Slash, you know, physical resistance traits or whatever. Collect income, we need it now. You don't need the growth, but you can use the control. You know what, let's increase the income from... That's barely anything. Nonetheless. And then I guess... more hunter capacity, build a Gorger Cave? Build a Gorger Cave. Screw it. Alright, Bone Road, Vale of Titans. We are looking to keep this place and move into Firemouth, so let's build you up and let's go for the growth. Icetooth Mountains, let's start collecting in -8. Let's hold off on that until the Chaos Corruption is gone. But we can upgrade Longship Graveyard and get you a little bit of money flowing. And then this is the new place, let's upgrade these two. As well as the big slab. Alright. At least Ogre admin is really simple, so that's kind of working out for us as well. Anyways, bounties, no, we're good. Contracts, we're in the process of intern. Alright, come on, Kolek. Hey, Kugath, what you want, buddy? You want peace? No. 5,000 gold. Solid offer, admittedly. But we have Greases now, and it feels like we should, you know, enable him to act as a trade faction because of it. He has to control all of the Mountains of Morn, recreate the Ivory Road, and get all that money flowing. While succeeds, what is this? Razor Sack Laurel. Really, the game keeps pushing us this way. Why? It just keeps doing that. And Ulrich Kalsarakunet. Ranger's Quiver, Unending Volley. We've seen that before. Really, 2,000 gold, that's it? You call this a bounty? It's barely a bounty. Tretch at least gives us 10k. Our Lorelorn Forest is probably not going to happen. And frankly, I don't really care about this one either, but whatever. Nobblers, I guess you're going this way. And, ow! I'm going to suffer attrition here because of frozen regions. Well, that's unfortunate. I didn't think that would be the case. Alright, you're going to head to the Sarlin camp, and I guess we're going to unfortunately lose Nalfari Plain, but at least we can stay within the healing area of Malgut's camp. Speaking of camps... Blout, do you want to take Wrecker's Point and then hit up Pack Ice Bay and then back up north? We still have a Bellicor to find. We don't really care about Wrecker's Point, but we could potentially trade it for something nice. It's Gorcel that we really want, but anyway. Or grab the Shipwreck, could be something nice. I'm too tempted, grab the Shipwreck. Any time of gambling. Explore the island. Really? Okay, look, if the auto-resolve hates our vultures that much, I think maybe we should just let it die. On the other hand, if this... I wonder what how damaged the other units will get. Let's find out. Really, the Stonehorns lose? Ugh, looks like the auto resolve doesn't like the Stonehorns either. It's a bit of a shame. Anyway. Let's see if we got anything useful out of that. Come on, materials, let's see. Big money. Material, yes! What are the odds? Oh, man, okay. The one time I guessed correctly. That's beautiful. Did I do building construction this turn or last turn? This is really important now since we have a bunch of buildings. I might even undo some buildings and then redo them, but that's absolutely fantastic. Anyway, you're gonna go back to Dietershofen just to heal up, though you are outside of camp range. And at least while we have materials at sea, our income is actually positive, which is why we gotta have that army vote. Alright, and Garisi, you are in range of another little army here. You are damaged, and you will probably get the plague from it. Oh, look at the plague ogres. Man, there was a comment suggesting we try to grab some plague ogres from Tamarkan, but again, it's not possible because we have no way to do so. It's more fangs. What was I saying? We have no way to do so because we can't get allied troops. As unfortunate as it is. Anyway. Golgi can't reach granite spikes, so just get as close to him as you can, buddy. We got 9 turns. Yeah, this contract should be fine. Hopefully Zatan moves towards us rather than whatever he is doing down there. And these guys, by the looks of it, decided not to go after moobs. Well done, moobs. Stay in Shenyang, keep raiding them and annoying them. Moobs is truly a legend. You're gonna go for Master of Meat as well, but oh, wait. Oh, okay. Master of Meat. I really wanted that impressive wealth. Alright, and recruitment-wise... 900 it gets is a little bit expensive. We'll keep it to basics for now, and once you have a few more reductions, we will get you some buildings, or some better troops to defend yourself, rather. Greasy. What do you guys say? One more fight with Greasy? It's his time to shine this episode, so why not? Ironically, impressive wealth is not particularly useful to him, but anyway. I guess we'll go for trained beasts and tools of destruction next. Bellower. I mean, his leadership is probably going to be fine. Iron Guts are enrichfully rewarded. And, I mean, we will want continuous volley as well. Alright, fine, get continuous volley. Not that it's going to be super useful right now, and then you two hold on to your points, you. Edemahar Caraxus. You have your... Yes, you do have your... Alright, Pyrrhic victory, eh? Another fight will be ogre on ogre, plague ogres. We'll see how they fare against our Iron Guts. They may be damaged, but, well, not to be underestimated. Go.
Ogres win. Always. Let me down. You'll be my next meal.
Alright, here we go. Grease is trundling forth as he usually does, but just as quick, if not quicker, than most of the rest of his army. 60 speed as compared to the 59 of the Iron Guts. Plus, with that banner of swiftness, Greasy does have the Wayfarer trait, so massive acceleration, deceleration, and Strider, making him actually faster than the Iron Guts move. At the very least, now he can keep up. Can he keep up with the killing and can we win this fight? However, that remains to be seen. We are heavily damaged now and only have the one army to our name. Anyway, Rhesus will move forward and then immediately activate his Rampage debuff, causing the enemy Lord, the enemy Sorcerer Lord, to run into the fight against Greases himself, which is not where he wants to be. The Chaos Sorcerer Lords are certainly decent melee fighters, but they're not going to win against a melee single-target specialist like Greases. Though technically Greasus is an anti-large unit specialist, but this will work just fine, I'm sure. Anyway, the main line will connect, and the main line is currently composed of our pigback riders and our iron guts. Waiting in the left and right flanks are our 4 units of ogre bulls with iron fist, and our 2 units of saber tusks with them as well. Our hunter has also been killing off enemy units of plague ogres who have lost 3 of their number and half of their HP here to those hunter harpoons. They do have those great weapons, so they will be able to sunder the armor. Well, not literally sunder in the sense that they don't have the armor sundering trait, but they will be able to pierce the armor of those iron guts, and hence the hunter's focus of them. Even if the ogre on ogre action thing is decent. And there we go, great weapon versus a great weapon. Chaos mutated plague ogres versus our good old-fashioned iron guts. Well, they'll be exchanging blows for a fair while, but every harpoon from the hunter that hits them will bring down a model or 2, so I'm sure those ones at least will get focused down. Our iron fists have made their way into the fray now and flanked the enemy plague bearers as they were pressed up against the enemy, or against our pigback riders and iron guts, while the other unit of iron fists moved towards a unit of Nurglings that decided to, for some reason, flank us. Same thing over on this side. The unit of plague bearers, or plague ogres rather, has backed off, heavily damaged as they were, and we send the bruiser as well as our saber tusks against them. Frankly, the saber tusks are actually here to chase after the enemy lord, who are routed away from Greases, who's not bothering to chase him down, simply because we need his buffs on the main line. Anyway, here it'll be Bruiser versus Plague Ogres for a little while. And the Bruiser just fall down? How'd they manage to topple you over, buddy? And I get that they're a monstrous infantry unit, and it's 4 against 1 here, and they're still great weapon units, so we certainly do have to be careful here. And they do stagger them quite a bit. Over on the left flank, it looks like the Iron Fists are having a little bit of trouble with those Exalted Plague Bearers, but they are Exalted, and those are basic Ogre Bulls units. Gonna be down to the wire between the Bruiser and the Plague Ogres, and in fact, the Bruiser will book it on out of there, and we're going to send these Saber Tusks to finish the Plague Ogres off. But it is a brand new Bruiser that we randomly acquired with the Confederation, so not a huge deal. Greasus is still fine in the center of the fray, and doing much better in this particular fight where he doesn't have to face off against the Bilious Thunderguff. Still taking damage, of course, but, well, we just need to get him some healing and he'll be a little bit better. And there we go, very, very suddenly the entire enemy army shatters, and all of their demonic units will melt away. I think just as the enemy lord shattered, it caused the morale shock to chain rout the enemy army. And for forcing him to rout, the Bruiser will chase the enemy lord down, and Bruiser. There we go. Oh my, that was brutal. The kick to the back, and the enemy lord just explodes. Once again, I really like all the heavy armor on the bruisers as well. Another Pyrrhic victory for Greasus, but you know what? He's earning his wins with his basic units, and I really appreciate that. He hasn't just been gifted an elite army right off the bat. Ooh, very, very close for that Bruiser, but otherwise the battle went reasonably well for us. Still took a fair bit of losses, about half our army, still a Pyrrhic victory, but admittedly a lot of those losses were to the Nobblers and not the Ogre Iron Guts, which took a lot of those hits for us. We will, I guess, take the tiny amount of money, because the replenishment is even tinier. And, are you telling me? Okay. Oh. We are not suffering attrition here. That's a pleasant surprise. Would we be able to hit Shattered Stone Bay from here? We would. I wonder if we'd be able to hit it from If we move into scrap towers, because I imagine this will heal us more. 25 and 3, 37 and 2. Yeah, let's heal up here instead. And we got some big names unlocked as well. Seasoned campaign in there. There's that perfect vigor for Greasy. He really needs a little bit in the way of healing. Does he not have a? Oh, he needs to get snacks. Okay, meaning we need to start moving through this line rather than his army buffs. Without healing, it's not so great for him. And of course, he needs a healing potion as well. But who knows how long it'll take to get that up and running. Next up, I was about to say next up we can do building, and I guess we still can. It's just that we have very little in the way of money. You know, gotta go with Goldtooth's Tollgate immediately, because even though it costs an insane amount of cash, we'll never get materials at sea again. And get that mint up and running. We may as well sort of maximize this province right now, so that at least we have one that guarantees massive amount of money generation. I'm almost even tempted to switch it to Might Makes Right, or yeah, to Might Makes Right for more money. Yeah, at the cost of control and growth, admittedly, but we probably won't need the growth for much longer, as we got 2 turns until we can get the last tier 3 in this territory anyway. Anyway, folks, I think with that, we're out of time, and I'm going to call the episode here. Next time, we will complete the contract of the greenskins for destroying Zatan, which will put us up to 7 out of 15 contracts for that short victory, and 7 out of 25 for the long. We will do the vote for the next army, if I remember to put it down below, and probably head over to the challenge stone once this contract is done. And yes, I remember we still have to go down to, take the... moment. Okay, I was worried that Ackendorf had fallen. We still have to go down and defeat the Disciples of the Maw and get them confederated as well. So I'll keep that in mind for the next contract and getting us teleported as close down there as possible. Greasy will most likely take the Dragon Isles next episode, though by the looks of it the enemy might rebuild an army up at Ruin's End. Meaning we may have to wander over here, even at the cost of getting a plague. Maybe Shattered Stone Bay and then like this, then back around. Something along those lines. We'll find out, we'll figure out. Stay tuned for more Ogres. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially the threshold for the hour-long episodes. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.